Hello there. Welcome to Sports Plus Life Podcast, episode number 60 of the Sports Plus Life Podcast. My name is Edgar, Mr. A.K.A. Rodriguez, and we have a lot to talk about. It's been off for about a week. I had to reset, man. It's a one-man band here. All right, one-man gang. Me, by myself. You didn't write me. No pillowcase. Just me. What is it? One-man band. One-man show. It's just me here. You know what I'm saying? So, take a little breather. Reset. And I'm back, and we have a lot to talk about. I hope everyone's doing all right. You guys let me know in the comment section if you're not. If you guys are watching on YouTube, hello. Look at me. I'm pretty. And if you guys listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever, I'm still pretty. Smile. Yeah, a lot to talk about. So everything's becoming blurry. So much shit going on, and no slowing down in sight, unfortunately, with the whole COVID-19, whether the whole coronavirus. God, I kind of sounded like Cardi B right there. So much going on. So much going on that this week, college football slowly kind of phasing out. So yesterday earlier this week, and I was going to record a podcast actually earlier this week, but I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait to see what happens with this situation, with the whole college football situation. This week, I believe the Pac-12 and the Big Ten canceled their season, but then now they're postponing the seasons. I think they're postponing or, kind of seeing how everything goes up until the end of the year. So January 1st, they're going to start revisiting things. A lot of these teams might be playing come springtime. So a lot of fall sports might be moved to spring. I know they did that in high school here where I live, or in the state here where I live in Colorado, lovely Colorado. And, it just, I don't know how that's going to work out. I think you're probably looking a little more towards a cancellation than anything else. No postponement, no suspension of the season, none of that, which is a big deal. Big deal. The Pac-12, the Big Ten, two of the Power 5 conferences, ACC, SEC, and Big 12 being the other one. It's a really big deal. It's very unfortunate for a lot of these kids who have scholarships to go here, to go to school in those situations. When you have a sports scholarship, will that still be honored? You're not playing football, so why should I give you an education? You know what I'm saying? And hopefully they do be honored. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they won't just because of certain circumstances, something that's out of their hand, these kids' hands, hopefully they get honored with, whatever privileges they have with scholarships. A lot of these guys have meals that come along with scholarships. Will that be provided to them? A lot of these guys play football, come from these backgrounds that not so great backgrounds, not so great neighborhoods. They go to college as, what am I talking about? Not as a break, but as just a reality. I mean, it's just kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for here? They leave for, as a safety measure sometimes, to, a lot of these guys want to do better in life. They want to play football, and they want to get out of their certain situation. And this is their path. Without no football, there's a lot of questions to be asked. What about the seniors? What about the seniors that are trying to make that transition over to the NFL? They're not playing. I mean, we've seen it in the past where it has worked out. Was it Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa just recently? But he ended up playing. I think he ended up playing like the whole year. So he still played a lot. Still got some reps in. But will this affect them? Will it affect them being scouted? Will it affect them being, will it affect their draft stock? Will it affect them mentally? Physically is another thing too. You don't get those reps in, you don't get those hits in that kind of like, it's kind of, sometimes you use it or you lose it type of thing, depending on who you are. But I think, let me pull it up because I know there's a lot of players who have expressed their interest in playing, especially from the Big Ten. Justin Fields being number one. Justin Fields, a Heisman front runner this year out of Ohio State. And then, what's his name? Trevor Lawrence has also said, I want to play as well. And he brought up a good point. Let me read his quote here. Where's it at here? I think it's right here. Right here. It says, is that him? No, it's not. We want to play. Is this what is this? We all want to play football this season. Establish universal mandated health and safety procedures or protocols to protect college athletes against COVID-19 among all conferences throughout the. Hold on. Okay, no, that's not it. Hold on. Where the fuck? He said it too, and it's like in here somewhere. No, I gotta find him. I just pulled up his Twitter. God, where is it at? Dude, I want to find a better one. I hate Twitter. It's all over the place. One. Here we go. I think that's what it is. People are just as much, if not more risk, if not more, at more risk if we don't play. Players will all be sent home to their own communities where social distancing is highly unlikely, and medical care and expenses will be placed on the families if they were to contract COVID-19. Not to mention the players coming from situations that are not good for them, their future, and having to go back to that. Football is a safe haven for so many people. We are more likely to get the virus in everyday life than playing football. Having a season also incentivizes players being safe and taking all of the right precautions to try to avoid contracting COVID because of the season. Teammates' safety is on the line. Without the season, as we've seen already, people will not social distance or wear masks and take the proper precautions. So I think it brings up a good point, and this is kind of what I was saying as well, is that what about those people who, you send them back home, they have to go back home, they don't play football, go back to a family where they're not practicing social distancing. Are they in better hands with coaches, with the facilities, with the faculty in this case, Clemson University, Ohio State University? That raises a good question. What does that do for those unfortunate people who have to go back to these communities where no social distancing is being practiced, and they come from just not so good backgrounds? I don't even know what I'm saying. Not so good. I know there's different words. Unfortunate, no. Less. What is it? Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm going to just scramble my brain trying to think of it. There's a lot of things. I mean, it's a good question. I think even Nick Saban has gone out and said, "Listen, no matter what, people are going to hate me for what I say." Let me pull up the quote. I want to pull it up because it was a good quote. I don't want to misquote him. I mean, I think Trevor Lawrence, man, is a smart dude. Trevor Lawrence is a smart dude. Hell of an athlete. Very well spoken. He's also what do you do for the Black Lives Matters? He's where NCAA was going to ban him or something from doing something like that. But Justin Lawrence is a good kid, good dude, hell of an athlete, hell of a quarterback. He showed us and stepped on the scene as a freshman, now coming in as a junior, probably number one pick next year in the draft. But Nick Saban, right here, I think it's right here. Let me pull it up here on Yahoo. Where did he say it at? Let's see here. We also test anybody that has symptoms and have an open testing site where they can go and get tested as many times as they want or anytime. That's not it. I don't think that's a quote. Where the hell is the quote? I don't want to fuck this up. I don't want to goof this up. Oh, that's that for me. Saban's point is decent. Let's see. Why is it? Well, let me finish here. Saban said, but our guys aren't going to catch the virus on the football field. they're going to catch it on campus. The argument then should probably be we shouldn't be having school. And that's the argument. Why is it we shouldn't be playing football? Why has that become the argument? I get it. Yeah, I totally understand. You want them to go to school, but well, they're probably going to catch the virus. Thousands of kids on campus, thousands of this, thousands of that. It's excuse me. It's like, I don't know. It's very, very difficult because these guys are also kids as well. I remember being that age. It would seem like a century ago. Here's the facts. They're kids. Their testosterone levels are. They're horny. Let's get it out there. They are horny. These are kids. These are young, strapping men who are also being chased as well. They're football players. Good-looking kids. They're football players. They're athletes. They look great. They're being chased. They want to go to these parties, these off-campus parties, these little get-together. They're going to catch it this way. That's kind of like, I think that's where everyone's at right now. I think no matter what you do, right now you're going to catch it, especially in the United States. There's no signs of us controlling this fucking thing. There's just no signs. We're too stupid. We're too, what is it? Too stupid. We're obviously very uneducated about the whole situation. Too ignorant. We don't want to take responsibility. We don't want to hold account. We don't be accountable for anything. For wearing a mask and just doing shit. There's no signs of slowing down. And it's just very unfortunate. I think no matter what you do right now, other than just sitting your ass at home and not leaving, that's the only way, this is going to settle. But no one can stay at home. No one can do this. No one can do that. We're invading your right. We're infringing on this and blah, 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 blah. So now what has happened? College sports are ending. Now all of them. Now not all of them. At least the fall and maybe the winter sports, I believe. I don't know how wrestling and basketball are going to do it. I think they're going to be pushed back a little bit. This goes to show how important these kids really are to college, to football, NCAA football in general. That's why where a lot of places, this is very unfortunate because a lot of people can now capitalize on, on making money on their, from their, why am I so jumbled right now? From their, not their persona, but from their, not the market. Yeah, probably their market. From their market. From their, personalities. They can make, they can start incentivizing themselves. They can start receiving, I am so out of it right now. But they can see, they can start making money, pretty much is what I'm saying. In a year when, it's very unfortunate for these kids. But we as adults, we as a country have to take responsibility, have to look at ourselves and be like, yeah, this is on us. Because we could have shut this down back in March, February, December, we could have shut this down. January. We've had the news ever since then. We've had we've had the intel. We've had the information for so long. We could have shut this down a long time ago, like New Zealand. Let me do a thing real quick here because I don't want to mess up my numbers here. Population of the United States. Okay, let's take a look here. 328 million. Really? That's a lot. Well, I was gonna do a comparison. I thought it was way less than that. Never mind. But anyways, in New Zealand, no cases for 100 days. Why? Because they blocked us from coming over there. They've all sat their asses down, got their shit together, got tested, did this, did that as a country. But I think there's 5 million. New Zealand, I think it's 5 million. New Zealand population. Yeah, about 5 million. But still, it's just like, they were adults about it. We can be adults about it as well, but we just can't. We just don't know how to do that. Yeah. Unfortunate times for college sports, for these kids in general. I've always said that if you guys listen to the podcast, you guys watch me on YouTube, listen on Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, whatever. You know, my motto is to do better for the kids. We don't know how to do better for the kids. We just don't. Collectively, we do not. I don't know where we went wrong, but that's just where we're at right now. That's just where we're at right now. But not all is lost. Now, the Big 12, specifically Oklahoma, I saw their schedule. Big 12 have announced that Big 12 and SEC have announced, and what's the ACC as well, have announced that they're going on with the season. And how this is going to happen? Well, I think, let me take a look here. Big 12 plans to play football in the fall. Let's see here. So I think it's going to be 9 and plus 1. So we're going to play 10 games total. 9 conference games and then 1 out-of-conference game. If I'm not mistaken here. Big 12 has also released a revised football schedule Wednesday, today. Teams will still play their 9 plus 1 schedules. 9 conference games and 1 non-conference game, but the start of the conference season will be delayed until September 26th. The schedule includes 2 off weeks for every team to allow for flexibility in the instance that game must be postponed. The Big 12 championship game also has a flexible date scheduled for December 12th or December 19th. So there you have it. They're going to have 2 bye weeks pretty much, just in case the game has to be pushed back or rescheduled. Because I did see an Oklahoma schedule. I think they're going to play the non-conference game and then holy shit. Then the lights just went out. If you guys can't see this on YouTube, the lights just went out. They're going to have an off week, and then after they play the non-conference game, and then they go back in. So I did notice that. I was like, well, that's a pretty quick bye week. But now you got that. Now we both got the answer. ACC kind of is in the same boat, I believe. They decided. So ACC. So ACC is, the ACC, SEC. They plan to be moving forward. So just remains the question. Obviously, conference championships. I think that's all going to stay the same. I don't know if ACC has one. I don't think they do, I think they just recently got one. But obviously SEC, probably the biggest conference in the Power 5 in football in general. That's a big deal. FCC can somehow make this happen. We'll see what happens. Especially the Big 12. ACC, the reason I think the ACC is playing, obviously they have Trevor Lawrence. They want to see Trevor Lawrence play. Crazy. I mean, it's just crazy times. What's the other motto here? Only time will tell. Only time will tell what happens with college football this fall, Big 12, ACC, SEC. Which, and then with all this going on, can also probably affect the NFL. Which Adam Schefter said, if college football doesn't go on, you probably see some other football games being on Fox or CBS where a lot of college football games are played. ESPN as well, maybe move to ABC where college football games are played. You might see some shuffling in their schedule to where now you'll see football games on Friday, NFL games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe even Thursday nights as well. That's where you're probably going to see a lot of changes going on there scheduling wise with the NFL, which it's pretty crazy. Crazy to think a good, probably something good for the NFL, but at the same time, will there be fans there? Will there be fans anywhere? Yeah, I know like I just mentioned, New Zealand, they have rugby matches, all this stuff up and running. They're good to go. No cases for the last 100 days, 101 days probably now at the time of me talking this. Maybe 105 days by the time you guys are listening to this. So many questions, so many unanswered questions. And I'm curious to see what happens. We'll see. Time will tell. We will see. Hopefully it all works out. I want to see my Oklahoma Sooners play Boomer Sooner. play the Red River rivalry, win the Big 12 again, 6 in a row. I think it's 6 in a row. I don't remember. Maybe 6. Yeah, I think it's 6 in a row. We'll see. But one thing that has kept going, one thing that hasn't stopped, one thing that really hasn't, kept a good momentum and has kept us all sane when there was no sports, was the UFC. The UFC is popping off. It is fight week. UFC 252 going on. Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier. And this is a trilogy. The rubber match, as some people would say. And this one right here it's a tough one to pick because they both have finishes against each other in the last 2 fights. DC taking the belt away from Stipe Miocic. The first fight, TKO, and I'm knocking him out in the first round, in the first fight. And then Stipe Miocic coming back, winning, I think, in the 4th round of their second fight. Finishing DC in the in the 4th round, the last fight. This is pretty close. It's kind of tough to call because you never know what DC you're gonna get. I think when the back's against the wall, you want to prove a point. You have to get a W. DC Cormier is gonna rely on his wrestling, Olympic level wrestling. That's what he's gonna do. You saw it against Anderson Silva. You remember that fight against Anderson Silva. You guys remember that fight against Anderson? Anderson Silva took the fight 6-10 day. I don't even that. Maybe 6 to 10 day notice, something like that. And DC Cormier just took him down and held him down for 3 rounds, maybe 5 rounds. I can't remember how many it was. UFC 200. Which one was that? I got it right here. Hold on. Let's find out. And now I'm curious to see which fight that was. UFC 200. Yep, I remember that. UFC 200 because if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the one John Jones was the fight. Then he got pulled out for the last second because of cocaine or some shit like that. And Anderson Silva took the fight. So we'll see, man. DC Cormier only has 2 losses on his record, and both of them to John Jones. Both of them finishes. One overturned to a no contest because of drugs again. So, now the champion Stipe, on the other hand, can win this fight, and he's shown that he can hang in there with the best of the best. Went into Brazil, hostile territory, against Fabricio Verdum, the Brazilian, and took his belt from him. Knocked him out with a clean short right, and just knocked him out, finished the fight, ended up being champion. Defended it. God, I'm so bad with it. I remember, I wish I didn't drink. That's what it was. When I drank when I was younger, now look at, I forget little shit. I remember shit, but I forget little shit. I still know a lot of shit. I still forget it, but then I have to refresh my memory. It's from taking all those beer bongs. But being a college kid, being the kids just like Justin Lawrence or Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence, just being a college kid, man. Being a kid. And an adult. Just kidding. Let's take a look here. So since defeating Fabricio Verdum, Stipe Miocic has knocked out Alistair Overeem, Junior Dos Santos, and decision win against Francis Ngannou. Now, that fight against Francis Ngannou was something else because Stipe didn't run. He uses boxing very well, uses footwork very, very well, and landed touched Francis Ngannou. You guys seen it, Francis Ngannou, the Predator. He can murder someone in the cage if he wants to. Stipe Miocic went in there and was like, nah. I'm just going to box you. I don't care. Like, I'm going to box you up. I'm going to piece you up. And I'm going to win the fight, win my championship. That's what he did. And then right before losing to Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier has ducked this fight. I'm pretty sure Daniel Cormier has ducked the fight with Francis Ngannou because he wants a championship fight. Rightfully so. I get it. There's not a whole lot of people who are going to be like willing to step in there with Francis Ngannou given what he's done to Jorginho Rosenstruck. We'll talk about here in a second. Rosenstruck, he's done it to Overeem, one of the best knockouts you've ever seen against Overeem. Dude's just a scary, scary dude, but Stipe Miocic has gone in there with him 5 rounds and beat him. So that says a lot about Stipe Miocic, how he goes toe-to-toe on the scariest heavyweights. and isn't scared. Stipe Miocic is a champion through and through. Part-time firefighter, part-time fighter, full-time father now. Hell of an athlete. I think played baseball at University of Ohio, something like that, some college in Ohio. So he's a good athlete. And the thing about Stipe, he's a great boxer. That's the one thing that kept him in the fight against Daniel Cormier, the last fight. His boxing was amazing. His championship mindset was amazing. The way he was able to make adjustments on the fly in that fourth round and figure out, I got it. And he ended up finishing him in that same round with body shots. Great combinations, mixing up his combination, throwing in some kicks, keeping him guessing. Got DC tired, took him in the deep waters. One thing I was like, I love body shots. I love the body shots, liver shots especially. Those things hurt. If you ever had a liver shot, someone punch you in the liver, you don't know what the pain is. It is, I can't explain it. It just shuts you down. It hurts. Getting punched in the liver. And those body shots were amazing. I just they were a thing of poetry. What's that one song? Is it like a McLaughlin? No. I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about. You could tell by this beautiful tone what I was trying to sing here. It was just beautiful. Work of art. The sweet science. And it was beautiful. But with that being said, like I said earlier, what kind of DC are we going to see? Are we going to see that DC that stands with Stipe Miocic? Are we going to see the DC that showed up against Anderson Silva, the wrestling DC? I think we're going to see more of the wrestling DC. It's kind of, I mean, if I were DC, that's what I would do. I want my belt back. I want to go out on top. This is supposed to be my last fight ever. I'm supposed to retire now. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out on top, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to use his wrestling. I don't think anybody in his camp, anyone in his circle has made that a secret. It's very obvious what he's going to do. Now, can Stipe Miocic stifle the wrestling? He has. Shit, I even think he took DC down at one point. This is a very interesting fight. As far as betting goes, I think it's pretty much a pick 'em. I don't know who to pick. It's a rubber match. They're both. I think DC's minus 105 and Stipe's minus 115 or something like that. Let me pull it up here. It's the opposite. DC is minus 115. Stipe is 105. Who would you take here? I don't fucking know. I'm not good at betting. I'm good at fights. I can watch fights and break them down a little, but shit. Although every time, last week, which we'll talk about here in a second as well, I missed my parlay by one fight. Every time I miss my parlay by one fight. So I kind of know, but I almost missed that one. It's always a decision, too, which makes me even more angry. I'm going to get green, make me like Hulk, like Green Hulk angry. Jesus. We'll see. That's the main event. I'm also excited for a lot of the other cards as well. One card actually got canceled, which was Ian Kutaleba versus Magomedov. What's his name? Magomedov and Kaliyev. Now, if you guys remember that fight, I'm just going to talk about this one real quick. That's not the co-main event or anything. It was not going to happen at all. But that was a fight where you guys remember, I don't remember how many episodes ago, how many months ago, because I could pull it up. It doesn't matter. They were fighting, and then Ankalaev was throwing bombs at him and Kutaleba acted like he got rocked by one of them and kept acting like that, and the ref stepped in and stopped it. This is going to be the rematch. And but Kutaleba tested positive for COVID-19. See what I'm talking about? You can't avoid it. So, unfortunately, that fight's not going to happen. That could have been fight of the night. But Sugar Sean O'Malley will be fighting Marlon Vera. I think that's a co-main event, if I'm not mistaken. Which is pretty crazy for Sean O'Malley to be a co-main event here. They're kind of priming him. They're priming him for that stardom. They want him to be that star. He's the next star at 135 pounds. Maybe the next star in general. Very colorful dude, literally. We'll see. I'm not with the hype yet. I don't like hypes like this. They've been feeding him trash can. Eddie Wineland's on his way out, knocked him out. If you guys don't remember that knockout, go back a few episodes of Sports Feels Like podcast. I talked about it. I wasn't as impressive. Impressive KO, of course it was. I wasn't as impressive as everyone makes it to be. I'm not, just like ESPN showing Conor McGregor or showing Kyle Kuzma shoot the game winner 4 days in a fucking row against a B team Denver Nuggets team. No, I'm not that type of hype. I wasn't that impressed. I'm still not impressed with this fight. No one knows who Marlon Vera is. Chito Vera. But Marlon Vera still poses a threat just like anybody else. If you take a look at his record, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of his last fights, he has 5 wins. Last one was a controversial loss, if I'm not mistaken, which a lot of people thought he won the fight. This was back in May 16th. A lot of people thought he won the fight. So he's technically, if you want to look at it that way, he's on a 6-fight win streak. And look who he's beating. Who is beating? Nobody. Exactly. Then a 6-fight win streak at 135 pounds. I mean, I don't know. I just think he's throwing trash cans. Sean O'Malley's tall for this division. Tall for this division. Great striker. Great movement. Has gotten better since his injury as well. He can take the fight wherever he wants to. But obviously he wants to keep it standing. We'll see. I don't know how to pick this fight. I mean, obviously I think O'Malley will win this fight. But the beautiful thing about MMA is that you never know. Hype Train could stop this Saturday with a kick, with a punch, with a takedown, a shitty judge, misjudge, a referee who has bad timing. So anything can happen in these fights. So never want to count out anybody, but if you're looking at these odds, which I am, is I think O'Malley's plus 340, minus 330, and Vera's plus 270. So if you see a minus, usually the guy's a favorite, which O'Malley is. That was the other reason why you would want to go with the other opposite direction. Got to go O'Malley here. But if you want money, you want to take a little bit of chance. Marlon Vera is not a bad pick. Going 5 out of his last 6 wins out of his last 6 fights. So I'm just saying, putting that out there. A couple other fights I'm ready for. Jorginho Rosenstruck versus Junior Dos Santos. And pretty crazy. Junior Dos Santos coming in as the underdog against Rosenstruck, who can finish anybody. I think rightfully so. Rosenstruck can finish a lot of people. You've seen it. He's waited till the last second to finish somebody. Junior Dos Santos used to be very durable, but all those Cain Velasquez wars have worn on him, I believe. I think he's been knocked out. His last 2 fights have been knocked out by Ngannou, and then let me pull it up here. Junior Dos Santos has been knocked out by Ngannou, and then who's the other one? Curtis Blades. That's right, Curtis Blades. Before that, beat Derek Lewis, beat Tuivasa, and then Ivanova. But also, like I said, lost to Stipe Miocic back in 2017. Goddamn, it's been a while since I talked this much, so it's like my throat is just like, we'll see how much longer I got. It's an interesting fight. Junior Dos Santos looks amazing. You guys haven't seen pictures of him. I will try to post it on my Instagram, Sports Plus Life, Twitter, Sports Plus Life, Instagram, and Twitter, MRAKACO, and YouTube, Sports Plus Life. Also twitch.tv/MRAKACO. I won't post it there, but follow me. He looks great. He looks shredded. I wouldn't be surprised if he popped for something during this fight. Some sort of PEDs or whatever. He looks. I've never seen him look that good before. So, Maybe the last fight was like, yo, I gotta do something. Something's wrong. He's becoming a dad again, and a lot going on with this world, and I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. It's Junior Dos Santos. He's a good dude. But Rosenstruck, we've seen what he can do. He can put people out whenever he wants. And with the glass shot Junior Dos Santos has been having, I'm putting my money on Rosenstruck. That's what I'm doing. Holler at your boy. If you want a little bit of action, let me know. Just kidding. Don't let me know. You know me. I like the heavyweights. I like the beat downs in heavyweights. I'm a heavyweight, technically, even though I know that all these guys are bigger than me, way bigger than me. John Dodson, the magician, is fighting on this card, which is very exciting. If you guys have ever watched him fight, he's actually an underdog as well, I believe. John Dodson, yeah, he's plus 160. And how do you say Divalishvili? Merab? Is it Merab Divalishvili? I can't say that. How do you say that? Hold on. Everyone show me. Nah, I ain't fucking this guy's name up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not gonna do that. Because right here, I don't know if you put it on like Wikipedia, it'll tell you how you say your name. Sometimes. Dude, how do you even spell it? He's Georgian. Hold on. I got to pull up YouTube now. Anyways, I won't do it right now. I don't know how to say his name. Dvalishvili. Valishvili? Divalishvili? Divalishvili. Divalishvili. What the fuck? I thought they like say it here. Hold on. Whatever. What is it right here? No, anyways. That's gonna be a good fight. John Dodson. I'm gonna put your money on the magician, man. The guy's let me take a look, because I don't think a lot of people have finished him. I think it's rare that you see John Dodson get finished. He always goes 5 rounds. Shit. Oh, it's over here. John Dodson, the magician, the fro, man. You probably need to shave that shit off. It's like hairline's like coming back. He's starting to look like Homie the Clown. That's what he's starting to look like, because the whole pandemic, he didn't cut his hair. He's starting to look like Homie the Clown. Remember, Homie don't play that. Damon Wayans on Living Color. Look it up. Let's see. He doesn't lose. No, like you can't finish the guy. He went 5 rounds of Porter Yan, Jimmy Rivera. These are all losses. Marlon Moraes, the heavy hitted Marlon Moraes. John Lineker, another heavy hitter. The guy's just hard to put away. Won his last fight against Daniel Wood. I like that fight. That was back in February. But he's been in there with tough dudes at the division. Lost his decision to Demetrius Johnson. Didn't get finished. You can't finish the guy. Let me see if he's ever been finished. No, the guy's never been finished. That's why he's so tough. Like, you can't finish the guy. So your job is to keep him off his feet. He has great footwork. They call him the magician for a reason. He's a little grim. He just like dances all over the place. It's hard to hit. He's very quick. That's good money. If you want to put it on him plus 160, I definitely would do that. But anyways, Jim Miller, one of my favorite fighters, and Vince from Hell Pichel will be fighting this weekend too. Great fight. Jim Miller, quick turnaround. I think he fought, like a month ago? He fought a month ago and he won. That was against Bobby, that was Roosevelt Roberts. 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago. Gotta love it. Gotta love Jim Miller. Jim Miller's a good dude. Follows me on Instagram. What's up, Jim Miller? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. But yeah, I mean, a lot of other fights. Yeah, Ashley Yoder versus Souza, and then Felice Herrig versus Verma Jandaroba. And Herbert Burns versus Daniel Pineda is another sleeper on the early premium. Second fight of the night. Check that one out. It's a good one. But we'll go Herbert Burns here. You guys remember his last knockout win? I think he won by knockout like a knee or some shit earlier. Doesn't matter. Daniel Pineda has been in there for I think, a long time. So check it out. But last week, Olenek versus Derek Lewis. I didn't watch a whole lot of it because I was out doing stuff. I was resetting. I was out doing a whole lot of stuff, just resetting the mind, resetting everything. But that was one of the fight. That's a fight I got wrong in my parlay. Always. Well, no, I did. I got it right on one, but I missed the other. It was whatever. So I always missed the first fight, but that one was the one that I got right but got wrong. Whatever, doesn't matter. Olenek somehow did not. Somehow Derek Lewis survived the first round. How Olenek got through, didn't finish the submission was beyond me. Derek Lewis is different. Derek Lewis, he's showing a little bit more resolve, a little bit more condition. He definitely wants to, and he said this after the fight, he wants to get down more in weight, wants to lose more weight by like December, and he'll probably pick a fight again. Rightfully so. I mean, his conditioning hasn't always been the best, but he's never quit. He's always gone in there and he's always fought. Just like that fight against Volkov, I think is what it was, where he came back last second and knocked him out. He did the same thing with Alexei Olenek and just creamed him. He became the number one heavyweight as far as knockouts go in the heavyweight division, which is people, you're talking about people like what? You're talking about Cain Velasquez, Junior Dos Santos, you're talking about Frank Mir, just dudes like that, which is great. Bunch of Hall of Famers there. Great company to be mentioned with. Who knows what's next? He's number 3 heavyweight in the world, so he'll definitely be watching this weekend. I'm sure he will, whether he'll say it or not. He'll definitely be watching this weekend. What other fights happen? Because there's a good fight here. There's a couple knockouts. Oh, Dariush. Fuck, man. I am struggling with the names today, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Dariush knocked out Scott Holtzman with a spinning back fist. You guys haven't seen that? Bangers. Dariush also was a good knockout back in February, I believe, before all this COVID shit happened. And then, what's the other one? The other one was a Kevin Holland versus Buckley, another great knockout. And then Andrew Sanchez knockout. This was a really good fight for cards. This is a really good card for finishes. Other big news was Chris Weidman came back and won a decision. Chris Weidman, I think he's had a bad string of luck, man. Especially that fight against Luke Rockhold. That was bad. I don't know what happened. They both look like shit. Luke Rockhold got it was bad. But it is what it is, man. It's the beautiful thing about UFC is that you never know what's going to happen. You never know about MMA in general. You never know what's going to happen. Bellator's coming back. You got LFA. There's another one. RFA? LFA? Yeah, LFA, whatever. So a lot of these fights are coming back. Combate America. So there's a bunch of good MMA out there on the zone, wherever you watch MMA. Boxing. All the big players are coming back. I think Lomachenko will be coming back here pretty soon, too. That Lomachenko, I can't remember who he's fighting. Golden Boy still bullshitting around. I think Canelo's supposed to be coming back in September. Gennady Golovkin will be coming back here pretty soon, like September, October, I believe. Maybe quicker than that. Gennady, Triple G. Gennady Golovkin. Who's he fighting next? Gennady Golovkin. Next fight. There we go. That would be. Is it Camilo Cesarmeta? No. I don't know. I don't think it's anything, but I think it's coming. Whatever. But you know, everything's still in the air. I don't believe anything until the day of. You know what I'm saying? Only people that have been reliable, that have been consistent, has been the UFC. NBA is heating up. I want to talk about the NBA. I did earlier talking about Kyle Kuzma hitting a stupid game winner against the Nuggets B team. Let's be exact. The Nuggets B team. And look how they celebrated. That was just a disgrace from the LeBron James team. It's gonna be a shame if Dame Lillard and the resurgent Blazers somehow get knocked off by the resurgent Suns. Devin Booker's been on fire. Devin Booker's probably been the best player in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi Leonard hasn't showed up. Giannis really hasn't showed up either. The Lakers really haven't showed up either, to be honest with you. They've lost a couple. I don't know if, the stakes are different because these now are, I think the Trailblazers are 8th now. So they're all within 5.5 games of each other or something like that. Utah Jazz, you also have the Suns, of course. So a lot of shit going on in the West, which I think that's what it was anyway. Nothing going on in the East. No Pelicans, no Zion Williamson, as I'm sure everybody wanted. We'll see what happens. I don't know what. I think we have a couple more games and then playoffs start. I think. NHL playoffs started already. Avalanche, number 2 seed, I believe, in the West, or in whatever they're doing, whatever hub city they're doing, number 2 seed. MLB still kind of cruising along, kind of stuttering, puttering with all these COVID tests and all these delays, and they should have just canceled it. All these stupid fights and all these nonsense suspensions, and don't get me started on MLB. Only thing I'm worried about is football, man. I want football to come back. Fantasy football would be coming here pretty soon. That's a joy. That's a good distraction from all the BS. And then the one thing I also wanted to talk about too before, speaking of the beginning of, or the restart, or the hopeful return of football, is Hard Knocks return. Hard Knocks returned, and last night LA Rams and the LA Chargers, a double team, the first time ever, 2 teams on one show. It's I love these shows. I love the background. I love the behind the scenes, what it takes to become an actual professional athlete, professional football player in this case. What's the behind the scenes? All the constant meetings, the working out, the cuts, the raw emotion of people getting cut, like you saw last night. It's cool. You also saw, I think, Tony Lynn, Charger the head coach for the Chargers, last night, said he got COVID-19. He caught it. He's all clear now. He's all Gucci now, it sounds like. But that was a surprise to a lot of people. No one knew that. I don't think I knew it. I don't remember. I think they did say it in the news. I'm not 100% sure. But it was a surprise to a lot of people. I was like, holy shit, you caught it too? So that's what they're going to be worried about, doing all this testing. I think they have the protocols in place. But this is going to be cool to watch. It's going to be a good show to watch moving into the season because of all these COVID-19 positive tests, probably new players, new systems. How are they going to learn? They can't put the pads on till 3rd week of training camp. Just so much to go into it, and it's just like my head's spinning. Dog, my head's spinning. I want football to come back. That's like a lifeline right there. It is what it is, man. We fucked up collectively. It's our fault. You can't put the blame on anybody else. It's us. If football doesn't return, if football doesn't fully return, it's on us. It's on our government. It's on everybody. So, can't blame anyone but yourself. Sit your ass. You should have just sit your ass at home when I said a long time ago, sit down. Siéntate. But yeah, that's one other thing. Kind of little gaming thing, nerd thing. You want to tune out for a little bit? Fine, go ahead. Dr. Disrespect returned to YouTube streaming this week. Had 551,000 people watching the stream at one point, or total, I think is what it was. 551,000 people, 500,000. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy numbers. Returned to YouTube. Has no idea why he got banned from Twitch. Still hasn't gotten any word, but it is what it is. He's there. He's on his way back. One of the best editors. One of the best characters anywhere on any platform. Dr. Disrespect, funny dude to watch. Also, former NCAA Elite 8 player. Cal Poly, I think, is where he played at. I don't remember what year it was, but it was back in the day. 2006, 5. Let me see. Now I'm curious. But anyways, Dr. Disrespect, he returned. And then Shroud returned yesterday or today to Twitch. Shroud, if you guys never seen Shroud, Shroud's a ridiculous gamer. The guy has a deep voice. He has a deep voice like this, and dude's kind of nasty. I don't get it. I mean, a lot of you guys' keyboard are just like mouse and keyboard is just very different compared to console, and just the movement's different. But Shroud's on a different level, bro. You guys watch Shroud, yeah. But yeah, that's what's moving. And find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/MRAKACO. I got a camera now, so you'll see a first stream of the camera. I got like a test one up. The first one will probably be up, and running tomorrow. We'll probably do it tomorrow. We'll see. Which is Thursday. But check me out every night. Doesn't matter. Just go to twitch.com, search for MRAKACO, twitch.tv/MRAKACO, and just hit the follow button. Hit the notifications that when I pop up, you'll be like, oh, Edgar's on. Let me say what's up. Let me see him squat up, get a dub on Warzone. Soon, I'll probably start playing UFC. Maybe I'll start playing FIFA as well. FIFA will be coming out soon. And Madden will be coming out soon. I wish NCAA would be coming out soon, but it's not going to happen. Just not. It is what it is. But that's it, guys. That's all I want to talk about. I want to put my 2 cents in as usual about the state of the NCAA, NFL, UFC popping off this weekend. Guys, holler at your boy, MRAKACO on Twitter and Instagram. Sports Plus Life on Instagram and Twitter. Sports Plus Life on YouTube and twitch.tv/MRAKACO. And for that, that's it, man. I'm out. I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep if football doesn't come back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Go ahead and check out all the other episodes. Find out what you missed when I step on the mic. If you're on YouTube, go to hit subscribe, or anywhere, go ahead and subscribe. That way you're notified whenever Uncle Edgar, Mr. AKACO, uploads a podcast like I'm going to do tonight / tomorrow morning. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you guys. Let's do better for our kids. Keep our kids safe. That's it. I'll see you guys.